So why should you buy a custom mechanical keyboard? Is it really worth putting $200+ into something that is just used to type and game on your computer? In this short video, I'll give you some solid reasons of why you should buy a mechanical keyboard. Before I get into that, make sure to subscribe, only if you want to, of course. You can always unsubscribe later. Also, like the video and join my Discord. So the first reason why you would actually want a custom keyboard is to match the feel of your keyboard to your preferred feel. And what I mean by that is everyone has kind of a preference when it comes to feel, sound, literally anything. And for example, I'm going to use me as an example. I hate most gaming switches because they have such a light actuation force that it feels like I'm typing on air and it's just not satisfying at all. And sometimes I'll misclick on something because my fingers are very strong and heavy because I have big man hands. Which is typically why I like heavier key switches like Durock linears, like the Durock L7s that I have in one of my keyboards, or I like medium tactile switches. That leads me to my next point about customizing the feel. Some people prefer the smooth, buttery feeling of a linear switch. Like, of course, again, the Durock L series, perfect example. And then there are some people who prefer a more responsive and tactile switch. And of course there's clicky switches, but honestly, don't go down that route. That sucks. With regular mechanical keyboards, you can't really experience the feeling of your perfect switch, which, you know, I mean, by that I mean your preferred feeling, because most keyboards don't have the ability to easily swap out the switches. With keyboards that have the hot swap option, which means you can pull out and swap out the switches in your keyboard so you can get your desired feel. Some people might say, well, isn't hot swap expensive? Because I have a $200 keyboard and it doesn't have hot swap. Not necessarily. You can get a GK61 for like $50 on Bangood and on AliExpress, and it comes with hot swap and RGB. That's like incredible. There's also options like the Tester 68, which is literally only $16, but I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're like really broke or something like that, because it requires batteries and it's just kind of annoying to replace. And if you have the money, go for something that does not require batteries. I don't know why they made it like that, but it's just like that. Okay, so the second main reason you should get a custom keyboard is because you can personally control how the keyboards sound. People in the custom keyboard hobby are constantly coming up with new methods of making their keyboard sound exactly how they want. For example, people use foam to dampen the sounds of their keyboards to make it not sound as hollow. People use silicone for basically the same thing, and people use painter's tape to really bring out the sound of the switch. There's also different case materials that play effect into how your board sounds, like aluminum and the many different plastics that are commonly seen in keyboard case. Another factor that plays into the sound of a keyboard is the switch that you have in your board. Some result in a lower pitch, some result in a higher pitch, and some result in a sound that is just insane sounding. All the things I mentioned before is why I get so mad whenever someone says all keyboards sound the same, because spoiler alert, they don't. When you have a custom keyboard, you can really get the preferred sound profile you want when using your keyboard. For example, you might want an extremely quiet keyboard because your walls are extremely thin and you don't want to wake anyone up with loud blue switches. Or you really like ASMR and you want a switch that sounds thocky. This is a good reason to get a custom. To be honest, being able to customize the sound is a pretty good reason. And the last point I'd like to make, and it's a very short point, is that you can customize the looks to an extreme. The main thing you want is your keyboard to look nice and unique. Like, look at this. This looks cool. Like, I like Japanese culture and, you know, the way that the characters look. And guess what? You can get that on a keyboard to make your keyboard aesthetically pleasing to your desire. And you can have, what else? Black on white. You can have a pink keyboard. You can have a blue keyboard, blue keycaps, yellow keycap. You can literally do anything. And if you scroll through the r/mechanical keyboards Reddit, you won't normally see your typical all black RGB keyboard. You'll see aesthetically pleasing colorways mixed with unique layouts and keycap sets. Honestly, no gaming keyboard can beat the looks of a custom. So if you're watching this video and you want to know where to get started, I have left a ton of links in the description on how to get started, like popular keyboard vendors, just a lot of budget boards, and even some videos on how to customize your keyboard to an extreme. Even if you only have $50 to spare, you'll find something, maybe like the RK61, where you can just take out the existing switches, pop them open with a switch opener, and then lube them to make them sound smooth. You can even put in foam from like any kind of packages you might have gotten in the past few days from the mail. I don't know, you can do whatever you want. Hopefully you learned something from this video, and comment #customsrules if you made it this far in the video. And I'll see you guys all next time. Bye!